Well, I'd been driving for hours and hours in Dublin in my freshly rented beautiful coat, and I couldn't find a room whatsoever because everything was fully booked. There were no vacancies whatsoever because Bon Jovi and the rugby team had taken up, the fans of Bon Jovi and the fans of the rugby teams had taken up every place there was in miles and miles around Dublin because they were playing there. When I finally thought there was no hope, I came into Athboy, and in Athboy there were also no vacancies at first. But I talked to a lady, and at her bread and breakfast, she said, "I'm sorry, I'm full. There were Swedish people in the house, and it was all full." But she remembered that there was a lady up the road that also had a few rooms to rent. So she called, and lucky for me, they had some room. So I went up to the nice lady and got a room there, and I was starving. I was literally starving. So I asked her if there was any place she could advise me to eat in Athboy, and she told me about Nicey Nana's. She said it's the best restaurant in town. It's got great food. It's a good atmosphere. It's really a place that I should visit if I wanted to eat something really nice. So I went into town, my stomach aching and making all those "I am so hungry" noises, and I walked into the town, but I went into Nicey Nana's, and I saw that there was room in Nicey Nana's. I could see inside the restaurant, because there was a small lobby, but I could see inside the restaurant that there were a few tables with no people. But it was a Saturday night. It was about 7 o'clock, I think, in the evening, and well, they didn't really want anyone to just be one person at a table. They wanted a group of 4, 3 or 2 people to fill up a table. So they said, "Well, I'm sorry, we're full, it's all booked and you can't eat tonight." Well, I was a little bit put off by that. I didn't really like it because I really got the idea that I could have eaten there tonight, but well, I thought, what the heck, I'll find something else in Athboy. So I walked on through town, and almost right beside Nicey Nana's there's a little church. And in that little church, at the moment that I walked by, I think it must have been about the 8 o'clock service or something. It was just starting. People were going into church and well, for the evening mass, I guess. And I thought a little about my grandma. She died a few years ago, and I think she said to me once, and my mother does too, that whenever you go past a church and the doors are open, try to go in and light a candle. Or, well, just light a candle. So I thought, well, how often do you get to be in an Irish mass? My grandma, we were raised to go to church. We went to church, I think. Well, we are the kind that went to church at Christmas, so we weren't really church-going people, but there was a kind of belief and a feeling, and I've always, when I was in the church, I always get a warm feeling. I like the atmosphere. Yeah, churches, I think, have a beautiful atmosphere. So I went inside, and I just watched and listened, and well, I was there for the entire mass, and it was beautiful because the minister or the pastor, I don't know how you call it, the vicar, something maybe, he blessed the travelers in Ireland. So I thought, well, I'm a traveler in Ireland, so I've just been blessed. That's great. I watched the people there, and Mass in Ireland for me was very much different than the things that I experienced at home. The songs are much more outgoing, and the atmosphere is, I think, a lot nicer, a lot friendlier. So I watched and I enjoyed it. At the end of Mass, I thought, well, this is the time, of course, to light my candle. So I went to the side of the church and lit a candle, and at that moment, I just stopped and think for a short while. And I thought about what I was doing there in Ireland. And I asked myself, mentally, in my mind, I asked myself 3 questions, for which I hoped to find answers during my travels in Ireland. And after I finished asking myself those questions, I thought, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let myself be led through Ireland, from place to place. If someone tells me to go somewhere in Ireland, I'll go there. I'll ask them, or they'll tell me, or somehow I'll know that there are places for me to go, and I'll go there. So I thought about that, about being led through Ireland, and being open to everything that was going to come on my way. I heard the vicar, or the pastor, or the minister, and he said, well, people, we'll see you all tomorrow at bingo, 3 o'clock, and I thought it was in the primary school of the village. Bingo. Okay. Bingo it is. Tomorrow, I'll go to the bingo. And I'll tell you about it next time.